We talked about the three things for acquisition. So we've got cost to acquire a customer, how much it costs us, gross profit, what we make for what it costs us, and now we go to payback period, which is how fast this all happens. So if you see PPD, just payback period or payback period. I'll probably say it out loud because I don't want to confuse you. All right, so we got the definition, why it's important, examples, and then how to improve it. Let's start with definition. So payback period, how long it takes until gross profit is greater than CAC. In other words, how long does it take to break even? The shorter it is, the easier it is to scale your advertising. So if I break even in a day versus breaking even in 5 years, it's a lot easier for me to scale, right? Because I get my dollar back tomorrow, then I can spend it again. Some people call this a cash conversion cycle. I probably won't say that again, but just in case you hear it, that's what that means. All right, so that's the definition. Here's the importance. All right, so problem number one, businesses take too long to break even on getting new customers. And so they have to manage cash flow by making a marketing budget. I think this is silly. We solve that problem. Problem number two is that businesses feel guilty making multiple offers in a row because they think that they bother people. They are wrong. The people who feel this way are poorer than they should be. And that's exactly how buyers buy, by the way, is that there's short windows of time that they go super hyper buying cycle and then they go dormant again. And so if you do not take advantage of this hyper buying cycle when someone makes a new decision or starts a new lifestyle or creates a new identity for themselves, you will miss out, and another business who is intelligent, who makes more money than you, will profit. So here's a story you probably haven't heard from me. So friend of mine, business owner, decides to lose weight and remembers that they like riding bikes and goes online to buy a bike. All right. Now, this is what happens after she immediately buys a bike. She enters a hyperactive buying mode. She then buys a helmet, she buys shoes, she buys pants, she buys gloves, she buys water bottle, she signs up for a race. You get the idea, all within a day or two. Now, if you were that first bike shop owner and you were like, well, I don't want to offer a helmet, I don't want to offer shoes, I don't want to offer gloves, I don't want to seem pushy. She wants to buy them. She signed up for a race. She's going to buy them. It's just whether she's going to buy them from you or the guy down the street. And there's a very big difference between hard selling and letting a customer know the offers you have available. You're making offers available to them. And think about it this way. If someone has a problem and you have the ability to solve it, it's my opinion that ethically you should let them know you can solve it and what it would cost them for you to do it for them. You make them aware. If they say no, no problem, fine. But at least tell them, make the offer, because you sell 0% of people who don't know you have something to sell. You are making offers. They can choose to take them or not. And if you believe in what you sell solves a problem, then solve more problems. Yes, it's cool. No, also not. Also not cool. Yes, also cool. All right, so that's the importance. So let's do a quick example. So payback periods. So if it costs you $160 to acquire a customer, CAC, and you sell a widget for $100 a month, that costs you $20, gross profit, so $80. What's your payback period? We make $100 from the person who buys their first month. Our gross profit's 80 because we have to have $20 that are off for cost of goods. So that means that I spent 160, but I made 100 back, but I had another cost of 20 for my cost of goods, so I have $80 left over. Sorry, I'm down 80, month one. All right. So let's look at month two. Month two, I didn't have my cost to acquire the customer. I still have my cost to deliver. I make my 100 minus my 20 cost to deliver. I have another 80. So now I'm at 0. Okay. So month two is my break even month. So what's my payback period? 2 months. Also, to be really clear here, if it costs you $160 to acquire a customer, some people are like, it takes me 1.5 months to break even here because they see $100 in revenue. They say, oh, it's 1.5 months. You have to take out your cost of goods in the payback period. If it costs me $9 in meals and I sell $10 for the meal, I make $1. I can't say, oh, they paid me $20. It cost me 20. I break even in 2 months. You have to do it off gross profit. All right. So here's how to improve it. You can make them more, better, or new offers. And here's the key part, in the first 30 days. And the key part is to do it at the right moment. The reason that somebody will not take an upsell from you is because you did it the wrong way or at the wrong time or you described it poorly or they're the wrong person, right? And so let me give you this supplement sale example. This is just a zone in on timing, presenting it at the right time. So I say this because some of you might have an amazing upsell offer. You're just presenting it not when the problem exists, all right, or creates itself. So I try to sell supplements after people bought services from me and it didn't work. Now, I could give you a whole bunch of theories around that. Someone comes in saying they want to lose weight, and I say, awesome, let's get you signed up. And then right then, after they signed up, I say, oh, by the way, buy these supplements. And you might think, wait, isn't that a hyper buying cycle? It's my belief that the person scratched their itch of weight loss the moment I sold them the service package. And now I'm like trying to reopen a closed wound, kind of. It's like, wait, I thought I just solved that problem, right? So what I figured out was I would say, hey, come in for a nutrition orientation. And then 48 hours later, they come in for nutrition orientations. And then I'd walk through their food. And so with the food, then I would say, oh, you're not eating these things. You should probably add this stuff in. I created a new problem, which I could then solve with supplements. And so the thing is that you want to be able to offer it at the right time. You sell at the point of greatest deprivation, not at the point of greatest satisfaction. Or really, like, advanced people know what I just said. Beginners, please hear that again. You sell at the point of greatest deprivation, at the point of greatest pain, not at the point of greatest satisfaction. If I just had a big steak dinner, and then you say, do you want another steak? You might have amazing steak. I don't need any more steak. I'm satisfied. And a lot of you guys are trying to make your upsell offer after I already ate a steak. Now, I might have a dessert stomach that's open, but my steak stomach is full. So we create deprivation. We make offers at the moment of deprivation. If somebody's really thirsty in the desert, after you give them the cup of water, they don't want the second cup as much as they wanted the first one. So the timing matters. So these are the times that I think through when I tend to incorporate upsells. And this is important for decreasing payback period. So one is right immediately after the first sale. Sometimes this works great. So to be clear, if I'm selling, if I solved one problem that then naturally creates the next problem, immediately upselling works. If you have to create another kind of problem in someone's head or guide them through awareness, then that's where you have what I call the next step. So the version I just gave you with the orientation, the nutrition orientation, that's like, great, that's the next step in the process. So this is usually a 24, 48, 72-hour difference between first sale and next step. The next time period where I think about selling a customer or upselling is after they have a big win. This is a milestone. Someone says, they have some big success. Now you're like, wait, I thought you said that you sell at the point of greatest deprivation. Yes. So if they have a big success, then it means we fully solved one problem, which typically means a fully formed new problem also opened. So great, you got to $10,000 a month. You probably have all these tax problems now. And you probably need employees to help you take all this time because now that you're working all the time and you're making this money, you probably don't have time. You have money but not time. So let me solve the next problem for you, right? And so there's always, if you're a good entrepreneur, you're always solving problems. And fully solved problems always create more problems. After they have a big win, then I like to think about the halfway point. This is just me historically seeing that people at a halfway point tend to be very open to upselling. And finally, I call this the last chance. Now, if you're like, wait a second, at the end of a period with the customer is the last chance, not when I should upsell? Yeah. If you haven't upsold them here, so many of you guys are trying to make your upsell at the end of the first thing. You've already lost it. Like, this is your last shot. You missed all of the other times that you're supposed to sell them. And notice 4 out of the 5 are before the halfway point. So you're losing out. So I can almost guarantee, well, I'll say it this way, I have never not had this work. So I can't guarantee it, but I've never not had it work. Which is, if this is when you're upselling people or attempting to upselling, because I already know you're probably failing at it, if you move it forward in the sales process, in my opinion, you have an incomplete buying cycle. So I don't want to reopen something. I want to just ride the one I'm already on. It's like, hey, you're halfway through. Let's keep the party going. Hey, you're doing great. Let's keep it going. Let's add this other piece of service on. Hey, let's get you there faster, right? Let's decrease your risk around this. Let's get you more support, whatever it is, right? We want to keep the party going. I don't want to finish my service package and then have to be like, okay, now that you've completed our first, service of work, let's talk about working together again. It's like, I'm good with what you gave me before. I'm pretty happy with that. This is cool. All right. So there's the 5 times I think about selling. Now, again, make more, better, new offers the first 30 days. These are the 5. So immediately in the same conversation or conversion event. Next step is 24 to 72 hours. First big win. This means you focus on getting them fast wins so that you then create new problems that you can then solve. Halfway point. This is just, I'm telling you, it just has worked. So I'll just throw it out there. I give you some scientific whatever thing, but I just know it works. And then last chance is the exit interview, right? And this is only useful for payback periods if it's within the first 30 days. But pretty much all of these ones apply most of the times within the first 30 days of the customer coming in. These are some easy ways to do this. You can have somebody pay first and last month today, or you can add an initiation fee, an onboarding fee, or an enrollment fee, or an activation fee, or make up whatever fee you want. You too can have this power. You just you just add that on. So if I wanted to improve that one I had earlier, if I didn't want to wait 2 months, I would say, great, we pay first and last. That's how we've always done it. And then I could offset. Now notice the fee is all gross profit. So now I'm actually up 80 on my first transaction. And now I've got half the cost to get a new customer already back in my pocket before I even have the next payment 30 days later. So every 2 customers buys me another one before even having to wait for the recurring to hit. All right. And this is how you really scale. This is just one structure. There's a gazillion that I'm going to show you. All right. So we went from 2 months to 1.5, right? Within 30 days. All right. So that's how you improve it. And that is about shortening payback period, making money faster.